Hi, this is Eddie Muller. Welcome back to TCM's series on Neo-Noir. I am joined by my colleague, the great Ben Mankiewicz. Ben, I have to tell you, this is an important night for me.
Yeah.
Because I am on TCM introducing a film that had a profound effect on my life.
Yeah, you love you some Chinatown. Yeah.
I do, and I'm going to make a confession right here on my set.
You still haven't seen it start to finish?
No, but people say, what's your favorite film? And I always say, In a Lonely Place with Humphrey Bogart and Gloria Graham, because I'm that guy.
Right.
I'm the noir guy.
Feels
and
like
I
the
have
answer
to,
you're supposed to give.
I have to say that.
And you love that movie.
I do love that movie. But the truth is, Chinatown is my favorite movie of all time. June 20th, 1974. Opening day for Chinatown, and I was there in San Francisco at the Coronet Theater, and I will tell you, when this movie ended, I was a different person.
How come? What was it?
I had started watching noir films and stuff, but those were the old Hollywood noir films, and they all ended, you know, they had the tack on the happy ending. Well, not to spoil things, but this movie did not end too happily, and I just remember, like, it was a jaw-dropping experience. Like, wow, movies can end like that. You know?
Yeah, there was a cynicism to noir in its heyday, right? But the end of the production code and the freedom given to directors and writers after that grew considerably in the late 1960s, changed the nature of how cynical these films could be, and added, I think, just a tremendous amount of depth. Is that better? Is it worse? Or is it merely different?
Well, it is different, and this film is a perfect example of that change from old Hollywood to new Hollywood. Because the whole idea behind this was to revisit the classics of the golden era, right? I mean, that was Robert Evans, the producer of this film, wanted to make the kind of movie that he loved when he was growing up. And Robert Towne, the screenwriter, also loved those movies, but he wanted to tell a story that combined like a Raymond Chandler type detective story with the true story of the development of Los Angeles. And it took years for Towne to assimilate all the history and background to put it into this movie.
It makes me think of Casablanca, and it didn't take years to put that together, but it took all these different writers writing independent. Like sometimes it's funny that two really great screenplays did not come together in a manner that anybody could replicate.
No, exactly. And, you know, this movie is an example of what an incredible collaborative art form the cinema is, because Robert Evans was the perfect producer for this movie. His decision to hire Roman Polanski to direct this movie was absolute genius, because he had the perfect approach to directing a detective story, completely understood how to do it.
And not an obvious choice to direct an American detective story.
Absolutely not. But, you know, Nicholson's involvement in this, the fortuitous casting of Faye Dunaway, who is extraordinary in this movie. The making of this movie is alchemy, but it all really begins with Towne's screenplay, which is sensational.
I mean, the production design here,
all
of it. I mean,
Richard Silbert's production design.
I mean, to just mention the stars and the director, and then you leave out the writer, and then you leave out the production design, you leave out cinematography, you leave out the costumes, and the rest of the cast, and then sometimes, and frequently, the critical role that the producer plays. And this is a great example of where the producer didn't matter a little. Producer Robert Evans mattered a lot.
Mattered a lot. He shepherded the whole thing, and his decisions really held sway in the end. And it was tough, because tough decisions had to be made, and those are made by the producer, and he made everyone was the right decision in the end.
Yeah, and among those decisions, casting writer-director John Huston in such a critical part, because he delivers.
He delivers, which kind of fuses the whole noir circuit.
That's right.
The guy who wrote and directed The Maltese Falcon in 1941 comes back to play Noah Cross in this movie and gives an amazingly great performance in this film. So, Ben, we have both been doing this for a long time now, but whenever I show a movie like this, I always like to think that there's somebody out there who is seeing this for the first time. And I hope that is you, because you are about to see one of the greatest American movies ever made. Here is Chinatown.